Thelma is the feature debut of writer and director Josh Margolin, and was inspired by his actual grandmother, who gets a tribute at the end. When I saw that, I thought she might have died recently, but I was relieved to find out that she's still with us, partly so that you can see this great tribute to her and just great movie in general. The titular role is played by 94-year-old June Squibb from the movie Nebraska. I guess you're never too old to get the movie that really makes your name take off. It's a fictional story using just the character, and I'm guessing her family here is really only based on her actual family. In the movie, she falls prey to a phone scam, but later she finds the address of the mailbox her money was sent to, and she goes off to get them to give her money back. She leaves her family to do this, instead traveling to the location with a friend she snuck out of a nursing home, played by Shaft himself, Richard Roundtree, in the last performance before his death. And it's a very fun indie comedy. A road trip movie except with an electric mobility scooter instead of a car. The characters are all likable, and the journey is never less than engrossing. It also tackles more serious territory about old age, but does it with a light sense of humor. It shows some of the more potentially depressing elements with the appropriate care and taste, but never becomes actually depressing. June Squibb gives a good performance. She's a likable personality, a little old lady who in the end turns out to be more formidable than she appears. And the rest of the cast also works well in their roles. Richard Roundtree gives a worthy final performance, the people playing Thelma's family are great, the standout being her 20-something grandson who is as deep a character as Thelma, and the actor plays that character very well. Thelma splits the difference between personal indie film and crowd pleaser. It's sometimes funny, sometimes emotional, and always entertaining and heartfelt. This is my new favorite movie of the year and will probably still be in the top 10 by the time this year is done. A genuine movie that also tends to be a genuinely fun movie.
Deadly virus, a city at risk, two unlikely heroes, and it's all inside this man's body. This summer, we're going into a body under attack. Osmosis Jones.
I wonder what this does.
Dad, I'm feeling better already.
He's coming, man.
Check it out.
Now we go from old ladies to young ladies. Inside Out 2 is the feature-length debut from Kelsey Mann, an animator and writer for some of Pixar's other work. It was written by Meg LaFave, a writer for Captain Marvel, The Good Dinosaur, and the original Inside Out, and David Holstein, a writer for Weeds, based on a story by LaFave and Mann. So the days finally come for Riley. She hits puberty, and now a bunch of new emotions come and swarm her mind and eventually take away control from the original characters. And now those emotions need to get back in control before the new emotions mess her up too much. This movie takes the coming-of-age drama to a more explicitly teenage setting and has the brain deal with even more chaos than before. And it retains the charm of the original. The humor, the emotion, and the overall allegory going on inside her mind for what's happening. It's not as good as the first one, but it comes closer than most sequels do. And the human story is actually a little more interesting than the original. A slightly more complex story of her being pressured into selling out who she is and then having to live with the consequences of that. But that's not to discredit the story inside her mind. The world and characters still haven't lost their charm, and the new characters are worthy additions. Probably more just anxiety than the rest of them, but the others serve their purposes pretty decently. If there's ever an Inside Out 3, I can see them being fleshed out into fan favorites. This is a worthy sequel and something that would fit in fairly well with the era of peak Pixar. Probably my second favorite movie of the year so far. Another win for Pixar.